So to be very basic, when you have collections of data, data is raw data. Anything is said to be a data. For example, if you send a mail, that is also a data, right? If that could be a data of text type, right? Text, it is of character type. Sequence of characters. You will type the data as sequence of characters, right? So for
Yes.
processing those data, you need some structure. That structure is known as data structure, right? So for organizing those data, or for storing those data, or for manipulating, when you want to perform some other operation, you need some structure. So in order to store all these data in a particular structure, we need data structure. So here I'm going to start with a string. Tomorrow I'll teach you what are the basic necessary that is involved in Python programming. Today let me start with a string, right? String is a sequence of character, nothing but have written an example that is a equal to Python programming, right? Which means a is a variable name, where Python programming is a sequence of characters. This sequence of character will automatically be stored in a variable named a. For example, if I store a equal to 65, right? The value will be stored in a. But here it is a string data type. So I am using character of strings instead of integers, numbers. Instead of numbers, I'm using characters, right? So characters are termed as similar data types. What I mean is similar data types. For example, uh, uh, if you take a name called fruits in which you can name it as apple, banana, strawberry, whatever fruits are there. For example, if I name any vegetables comes under different category. Fruits comes under different category. So similar data type is which comes of which comes according to the similar things, right? Here, string is a sequence of characters. Sequence of characters in the sense I have given text as a data, right? Python programming is a text data, which is known as sequence of characters, right? I'm saying it is immutable. Immutable is nothing but we can't change the data. Once if you give a string name a with Python programming, you can't change the value. I can't change the value of a as some other value, right? I can't I can't give a equal to some hello. I can't change the value. I can't change the individual value, but I can change it as a whole, right? For example, if I give as hello in string, I can change the whole value of string as hello. When I'm printing now, what will be the answer of A is hello. Instead of Python
Hello.
programming, instead of Python programming, the value will be replaced as hello. So this hello will be stored in A, which is a variable name, right? A variable name, uh, you need to store this value in some container. That container is named as A. Okay. So, but I can't change the string. For example, if I want to change this P as H, I can't do that operation in string. That is set as immutable. I can't change the individual value of the string. Rather than I can change it as a whole. String is a
Yes, ma'am.
sequence of character, which is nothing but a text word, right? So sequence of character is nothing but a text, right? So immutable in the sense string is immutable. So which means you can't change the individual character of a particular text. For example, if I can't change P character from this particular text called Python programming, whereas I can change the complete string as hello. So the here, as I said, data structure, right? Data structure is being divided into string collections, right? Only two data structures here, string and collections. So directly I'm going to a compiler in which I'm compiling the program, right? Here I have given S as a variable name. In this variable name, I'm going to save a string, which is I am fine, right? So how can I save a string? How it is identified as string? So before it is, how we can declare the string? That is much important. So string is a data type, which is sequence of characters. It has to be represented in quotes. So here I have given hello Python. So which is represented inside a quote, right? Either you can use single quote, double quotes, or triple quotes. Everything is considered as a string, right? str1, str1, all these are variable names where we are going to store this particular hello Python string in this variable name, right?
Okay.
Okay. So whenever you want to give a value as a string, you have to mention it within a single quotes or within a double quotes. Triple quotes will be used very rarely. Okay. Now I have stored this particular string hello inside a variable name str, right? So if I want to access this particular string for performing any kind of operation, for accessing those particular string, I need to index the string values. Indexing is nothing but numbering the values, numbering the text, right? So so the indexing starts from 0. Wherever those who know array can understand this. Those who doesn't know, nothing but you're going to number this string, right? So how you're going to number it? As first letter is being mentioned as 0. Second, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it denotes the position where the string is available. For example, H is available in the indexing position of 0. L is available in the indexing position of 2, right? So when I'm going to retrieve, if I want to retrieve this particular H, how I have to give is str of, I have to mention the position, 0 position. Indexing position has to be mentioned. So if you mention the position, you will get the exact word, right? So here 1 represents E and 4 represents O. That's all, right? That's all about indexing. Indexing is nothing but you're going to number the text, that is string. You're going to number this string to perform some operations that you can deal later on, right? So in Python, you have negative indexing too. Negative indexing is nothing but from the last position. That is, from the last position is, this is the O is the last position, right? So negative position starts from -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Whatever string you're giving, right? If the string is, if I represent hello world, so hello world in the sense last letter will be D. So there -1 stands, right? So this is negative indexing. Either you can retrieve the string by mentioning the indexing number. This is also an indexing, but this is also a indexing, but it is mentioned as negative indexing, right? For example, if the string of -1, if I give -1 here, it has to retrieve the value of O, right? If it is -2, it has to give the value of L. If it is -4, it has to give the value of E. So we'll go directly into the program. See, S is a string, right? S is a variable, right? So it is going to store the string values, which I have mentioned as in double quotes, right? Instead of here I've mentioned only double quotes, right? How are you? It is going to store the how are you inside a variable named S. So here I mentioned I am fine, in which I've used a single quotes. That is not a problem. It will print. So if I want to print this string, I will give print of S represent, which gives you the output as I am fine, right? So if I want to know the data type of this particular variable, what data type is this? What data is being stored, whether it is a number, whether it is a text data. So what type of data is being stored? For that, I have to give type of S. So why I'm printing it is it will show you in the output. That's why I'm printing it, right? So here I said a string is being stored in variable S. I'm going to print the value of S. So here, what is the output I'm getting? I am fine. Example, if I'm giving, here I've mentioned a single quotes. Here, if I mention double quotes, see what is the error that you're getting. See, it is showing some error, which means I have started the single quote here and ended the single quote here itself. So it doesn't know to take this as a complete string. So you should not give in between, right? I can use in between double quotes, I can use single quotes, right? If I use double quotes here, what happens? It will consider the string starts here and the string ends here. So it doesn't know what is the use of fine here. So either you have to use
Yes.
double quotes or single quotes. In between, if you
Okay.
need, if it is necessary, you can use single quotes or double quotes, right? Either, for example, if I'm using right s equal to, I'm using single quote here. So if you run the program, see what is the thing is it the string of s of where I am fine is being printed here, right? As I said, it is an interactive mode. So whatever you're giving, then first the value of I am fine is stored in S, but it will replace it with I am fine. That is with the double quotes of M, right? If the single quotes is necessary, you can do it. Otherwise, it is not necessary. For this text, how are you? The single quote is not at all necessary, right? So either I can give as S equal to inside a single quotes, how are you, right? So now if you run the program, it will show you how are you, right? Either you can use single quotes or double quotes. This is a basic declaration of string, right? So if I want to print the text, that is print this variable, what is the value stored in this variable, I'm giving a print statement, right? If you want to get the input from the user, you have to use input statement. If you want to display it, in in the display, you have to use print statement, right? For getting the input, you have to use input statement, that is input. For getting for printing it, for displaying it, you have to use print statement. That's what I have used here, right? Here I've used a type which denotes the type of
Uh,
this variable. The type of this
yeah.
variable is a string. So the type of this variable is string is printed, right? So I want to check the data type of this particular variable. Whatever variable you can give, S1, or it's a name that you're giving, right? So if I want to check the data type of this particular variable, for example, it can be s equal to 10, which means it is a number, right? It is not a characters. So
Yeah.
it will return integer data type. So integer in the sense only numbers are allowed in integer data type, whereas in strings you're using character sequence of character. That's all, right? If you have studied C, you could understand this, right? That's all. So can you understand this particular coding alone, right? First, I'm
Yeah.
giving an input for a variable name s as string. This is an input, right? So I'm printing that particular input here. So if I give print of s, it will print the corresponding value. So s is automatically changed here. So it will not print I am fine. That is, for example, if I change the value as something, so it will not print the first string, right? It is going to print the second string. I am fine. So if you give print statement here, so XX is also being printed, right? I'm
Yeah.
storing the value in a variable named s. I'm printing the value. That's all. And another one, what I taught you is what is the data type of that particular variable. Here, the data type is string, right? Because we have given only sequence of characters. Someone asked me whether this space will also be considered as a string. Yes, fine. Next, we are going to see about string manipulation. So, for string manipulation, for if you want to perform any operation, you have to specify the string with this ranging, which represents start value and end value. Start start is the starting indexing value, and end is the indexing value which you want to mention, right? So you can mention start and end value, or you can mention only the start value, or else you can mention only the end value, or else you need not mention any of both, right? This is the normal syntax that is available, right? So by using this, you can fetch the substring of the entire string. For example, if it is hello, I want to fetch only he. From this entire string, I want to fetch only he. Then I have to use this slicing method, right? It is known as slicing, parsing, or analyzing, which will give you only a part of a substring. From the whole string, it will give you only a part. So this is the normal syntax. I forgot to show you the normal syntax. Now we will move on to the program. So first I have given as per, now I showed you the syntax, right? Either you can give the start value and end value, or else you need not give the start value. Here I have not mentioned the start value. I have mentioned only the end value, right? So which means it will start from the index 0 and end at index 5. Again the same thing. The fifth index will not be included, right? So which means now what will be the output that I'll get from 0th index till 5. From 0th index is this till 5. But this element will not be printed. So I'll get SAMPL. See here, SAMPL, right? For this, I got this as an output. For 0 to 3, it consider 0, 1, 2. So SAM, first three characters has been printed. I'm not mentioning the starting index. I'm mentioning only the end index, which means it starts from the 0th index and ends at 5. So what is the fifth index? Fifth index is E, but this index will not be included, right? In previous class, we are speaking about strings, right? String is a sequence of character or collection of character. For example, if I'm declaring it a variable name with A, this is a variable name in which I am assigning as Python programming. So this variable will take the value of Python programming. As I said, string is a sequence of character, collection of character, right? So it is an immutable data. So we can't change the individual character, individual letters of the particular string, whereas I can change it as a whole. For example, if I want to, in this example, hey equal to hello, if I want to change the particular index, do you remember the index? That is, index starts from 0th position. That is, H is 0th position, E is in 1 position, L in 2nd position, another L in 3rd position, and 0 is in 4th position, right? So if it is in the first position, if I want to change it as capital H, I cannot change it, right? So as a whole, I can change it. For example, if I want to change this Python programming as hello, I can change the string completely. Whereas I can't change the individual character of this particular string. If I want to change this small h into capital H, I can't do that particular operation in strings. We'll go directly into the program so that it will be easier for you to understand, right? In last class, we are I've given this as an example, right? For string s as a variable, I have given how are you. This is the input that I have given, right? So it's a sequence of character. So it is of string data type, right? So if I want to give a print statement which displays whatever you give it, it will be displayed in the output. That is the print statement, output statement, right? So here I've given print statement, so it is going to print the string s, right? Here it is going to print how are you. Already I've given I am fine, so it is also printing I am fine. Now, so how are you is being printed. That is the string I have given here, right? Next, I'm going to print what is the type of this string. The type of this character is, it is of string. So the type is being written as string, right? In previous class, I was speaking about the string indexing. String indexing is nothing but, for example, if you want to see here, sample is the input I'm going to give. Okay. So indexing means it starts from 0th position. So in 0th index, the letter is S. So the sequence starts like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever example you give, sample, Python programming, whatever input you are going to give, the index starts from 0th position, right? I can also give negative indexing, right? If negative indexing has been done, it will start from the last position. So negative indexing starts from -1. The last value has been -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. For example of sample, this is the indexing, right? So if I want to print, here I have given the string as s equal to how are you. If I want to print, if I want to print the 0th position, h, right? It starts from, the
H,
string
H.
starts from h. If it is 1, for 1, yeah, sorry. And for w, it is second index position that has been printed. And as I said earlier, the space will also be considered as an character, individual character. So in the third position, 0, 1, 2, third position. What is the third position? It is the space. It is printing an empty space here. For this is normal indexing, which starts from 0th position. If it is negative indexing, if negative indexing starts from -1, that is the end position of the string, whatever you're giving. So the last end position, you have a character called u. So -1 returns the value of u that is being printed here, right? For -2, it is o. -2 is being printed. -4, sorry, -3, it is u. Likewise, you can index the value. Why we are performing indexing is in order to access the input from the given string. If you want to access the part of a string, substring, if you want to access only how, for that you should give indexing. Only then you can know where it has been placed, right? So this is string indexing, and we saw about negative indexing too, right? Next is I'm going to perform with this indexing. I'm going to perform some operations, right? That is known as string manipulation. Either you can slice it, parse it, or analyze it. Nothing but to get the substring from the whole string. It's a part of a string. That's all. So as per the thing, I'll show you the syntax. Normally for string manipulation, you will give the string name with start and end information. The start index and end index has to be mentioned for fetching a substring from the given string. The given string may be some set of characters, right? In order to fetch a substring from the given character, you have to mention the start string and end string. It can also be mentioned like this. So you have to mention the start string and end string, or else I can mention only the starting string or end string, or it is better not to mention anything else. So with this syntax, I'm going to perform some fetching of substrings, some manipulation work, some operation is going to be done. Okay. So the same input has been given as sample, right? For a particular variable, I'm assigning the string value, that is sample, as an input. If I want to print this, directly it is printing the value as sample. Print of s gives you the output as sample, right? Next, I have mentioned the starting string as well as, sorry, starting index as well as the ending index. So starting index is 0 and ending index is 2. So starting index is 0 and ending index is 2. In between these range, what is the output? So it will start from index 0 and end at index 2, but it will not include the last index. So what will be the output? From 0th index, it will print only s. Next is I have not mentioned the start index, right? The start index is missing. I have mentioned only the end index, which means it will start from the index 0 till 5. That is till fifth character. That is index of 5.
So from, but it will not include the last character, right? What will be the output? Start from the start. If you doesn't mention the starting index, it will take it from the starting index only, and till the fifth index it will follow the input. So but it will not include the last fifth end string, right? End character. So it is printing as SAMPLE. And here I've mentioned only the starting string. I'm not giving a ending string. So from index 1, it will not start from 0th position. It will start from the first index, right? From the first index till end of the syntax will be printed. End of the string will be printed, right? Here I've given the starting string as 1. So starting string 1 starts from A till the end character it will be printing. So starting string starts from A till end character it will be printed, right? If I mention the start string as 2, it will start from the second index. That's all. It's very simple, right? So here I'm mentioning only the last string. Here I mentioned here I mentioned the ranges, right? Start string, end string. By using a colon, I have separated the ranges. Here I have not mentioned any ranges, but I have mentioned only the negative index. So last position of the string will be printed, right? Next is I have given negative index. I have printed only the single character, right? Instead of printing the single character, I need between ranges. So I've mentioned the start index and end index, but I've mentioned it in negative symbol, right? So negative symbol, as per this, it starts from -2 start index and ends with -1. So L and E are the two characters in between, but it has to leave the end character. So it will leave the last character. E will be left out, right? Can you understand? So what will be the
Yes.
output for this? Between L
L.
and E, there is only L
L.
will be printed, E will be omitted, right? In this mentioned as end index as -1. So the -1 will be, so the starting index, it starts from 0th position and it will end till -1. So it will leave the that is, it will leave the last character. E alone will be omitted. So it is printing as SAMPLE. Sorry, E will not be there since it is -1. So the end index, whatever you're giving, that will be omitted, right? Here I have mentioned it as, if I mention double colon, all these things are single colon, right? Single colon mentions between the ranges, start and end ranges. Here I mentioned double colon, which means it will reverse the characters. If I given as sample here, the output you can see as E comes first, E, L, P, M, A, S. The word is being reversed, right? If you read it in this direction, SAMPLE, it is sample, right? From left to right, uh, just a sorting value has been done here. Can you understand? The input string, what has
Yes,
been
ma'am.
given is being reversed and printed. If you give double colon here, that's all. How here I have said you how we can declare it and what is the type of the input that we are giving. It is of string type. Next, we saw about indexing, right? Normal indexing and negative indexing. Both the things have been dealt and how the operation works. All these things have been mentioned. Now I'm going to see some operations in string, right? As I said previously, we can say that we can change the complete string. For example, if I want to give is equal to
I've given s equal to Python. So the complete string has been changed for me, right? Instead of how are you, it is printing as Python. But I can't change the individual character. If, for example, I've given here, right? S of 0 position as D. If I want to change this particular P character alone as D, we'll check whether it is printing. You'll see some error message. See error message in line 14. This is the line 14, right? So it will not allow you, string is immutable. So it will not allow you to change the individual character of the particular string, right? Next, we are going to see some string operations. In string operations, we'll see the operators. What are the operators available? Here, I've given a two string name called str1 and str2. I've given the input. In order to perform some operation, for example, a plus b equal to 5, you need two variables, right? If I'm giving a equal to 5 and b equal to 10, if I want to print a plus b, sorry, print of a plus b, you will get the output as 15. Instead of performing, here I've given an integer value, a equal to 5 and b equal to 10, and I'm trying to perform some addition operation, right? So in order to perform addition, subtraction, or some kind of manipulation, you need some two strings to be performed. So here I've taken some network issue. It's taking time. I'll show you the output. Here I've taken two input, right? String 1 and string 2. One is hello and another one is world, right? Here I'm using an operator called repetition operator. Okay, I'll show you the program and ideally session ends. Yeah, I'm getting the output, right? So can you all see here the output has been printed as 15, right? So in order to perform some operation, you need some two values, right? So here instead of integer input, I'm taking a string input, hello and world. So I have given an operator named repetition operator. Repetition operator is multiplication symbol, right? So I've given the string 1 equal to hello. So hello will be printed 3 times, right? So can you see it here? The input is hello, but it is being printed 3 times. If I give us 5, it will be printed 5 times. Whatever input you give, that will be printed. See, you can see hello has been printed 5 times here, right? And now I'm going to perform some concatenation operation. This is a plus symbol denotes concatenation operator, which is used to join the two strings. Hello world will be joined and it will be printed. String 1 and string 2 will be joined and it will print as hello world, right? Can you get the output? Here in string 1, again here as per indexing, this is an indexing concept, right? Here I'm giving a indexing value. So for string 1, the index position starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4th. So what is the fourth position? Here fourth position is 0, right? Sorry, oh, hello. So the O is the output for this particular statement. And here I'm giving, this is the range operator. That is within the square bracket, whatever you give, it is a slicing operator or range operator. Here I mentioned the ranges. Here I mentioned only the index value, but here by using separator, that is by using a colon, I have mentioned the range, start and end range. So as per this string 1 between 2 and 4, what is the input that you are seeing? 0, 1, 2. This is the second indexing question. From second indexing question, It will print till fourth value, but it will exclude the fourth one. So 2 is L, right? L is second position, third, fourth position, but it will exclude the fourth position. So the output will be LL, right? So next is, these are inbuilt operators that was available in predefined operators that is available for string. Okay,
Right.
next is membership operator. Membership operator is in and not in. These are called as membership operators. So if you want to check whether a particular substring is present in the whole string, entire string, if you want to fetch the particular substring alone, whether it is present or not, you can use membership operator. For example, in string 1, I am checking whether W character is being present or not. So what is the string 1? String 1 is hello, but there is no character name W, right? In hello, there is no letter named as W. So what will be the output for membership operator? You will get either true or false. It is a Boolean operator, either true value or false value. If the statement is if the condition is true, you will get true. If the condition is false, you will get the uh, false output, right? So W is not present in string 1. So the output is false here, right? And I'm again checking whether LL character is present in string 1, which is hello. The string 1 is hello. So LL character is present in string 1. So it will print the next output is true, right? Again, I'm checking whether WO not in as reverse of in operation, right? Whether it is not present in string 2. WO is world, right? It is already present, but it is checking the condition is true or false. Condition is
Ah,
true, but it
teacher.
will print you the reverse operation, right? It is printing as false. Can you understand? If it is true, it will print as false. If it is false, it will print you as true. Next is here I've given R as a input, that is, it used to represent raw string. Whatever string that I'm giving, that will be printed directly in the output screen, right? Here I mentioned hello world. The same thing has been mentioned. Here it is not considering this slash n as a new line. It is printing directly as hello world, right? In between you have slash n too, right? So if you mention R in the first character before the string starts, you have to mention it is mention as R. So which indicates it is a raw string. It will print whatever string that has been given, as it will be printed directly as in the output screen, right? Here I have given the string formatting. String formatting is nothing but before that is, it is going to check the type of the string, whether it is an integer data type. For example, if I give, you see only this particular statement, you can you can see only these four lines, right? So integer, if I'm giving a variable name called integer, I'm assigning a value for 10, right? It is going to print me 10 as the output. Print of integer will print me 10. This integer is of, if we know what is the data type, we can mention it as percentage of D, which is string formatting, which is named as string formatting in C languages. Those who doesn't know C languages can just understand. If it is percentage D has been mentioned, it is of string data type. If percentage S is being mentioned, it is of string. If percentage D is being mentioned, it is integer. If percentage S is being mentioned, it is string data type. That's all. So in print statement, what I've given is percentage of S, which means it is a string data type. It will print the string. Before the string, you have to mention That is within double quotes, you have to mention the string formatting. After string formatting, you have to mention what is the string that you have given. So in output, it will print you as hello. For example, here the first statement is both the things are same. I'm printing here a string of 1, which means string 1 has the value hello. So it will print hello. This print statement is equivalent to this print statement, but I have mentioned a string formatting, which means I know what is the input is. It is of string data type. So I'm mentioning it as S, percentage of S. So again, the same output has been mentioned. Both these two statements have a similar meaning, but I mentioned as percentage of S to know it is the input is of string data type. That's all.
So now we have seen what you have seen.
Okay.
First you have seen the declaration of how the string has been done. Next you saw about indexing, right? Next you saw about indexing, string indexing. Next, in string indexing, you saw what are the operations that can be done. Next, a string operation, that is repetition operator, concatenation, slicing, membership operator. These all things have been done. Next, you are going to see about inbuilt functions in string. So I've given some inbuilt function in string, which is used for easier accessing of the inputs. For example, I've given S equal to Python programming language. This is the input that I am giving to this particular variable S, which is of string data type. Okay. So if I run the output, okay. So Python programming, if I give print statement, automatically what is the input that I have given, that is going to be printed. If I give type of S, which mentions what is the type of the input that I'm giving. So this type is an string data type. So it is printing as str. So next, these are the functions, inbuilt function, which is available as I told you. First is len, which is used to find the length of this particular string. What is the length of this particular string? It will print the output as each character will be counted along with the space, right? So each character will be printed along with the space. So it will print 27 as the output. You can count it, right? I'm
Hmm.
using a function name called upper, which specifies the Python programming has been given in lowercase letter. I'm going to change this as uppercase letter. So here you can see Python programming has been printed in uppercase letter. Again, I'm giving it in lowercase letter. So the Python programming here has been printed in lowercase letter. Again, the function name called capitalize. Capitalize, which capitalize the first character alone, first initial character alone. So the first character of Python programming has been capitalized. Here, for example, if I want to give a title, each character, each the space after each space, the character will be made as an uppercase letters, which is titled operation. So for example here, P is capitalized, again this P is capitalized, and L is also in capital letter, which means a title. For example, if you want to write the title, you will write it in all the first characters alone, you will write it in capital letters. No, all the first characters will be printed in capital letters. That's all. For example, next is count. Count is a function which is used to find the number of occurrence in the particular string. For example, if I want to print the count of this particular character alone, P, I've taken P as, since P is being repeated 2 times, I've taken P as the input, right? So if I want to see how many times this P is there in the input string, I'm going to check with the count function. So count function, only 2 times the P has been mentioned. So the count will be 2, right? I'm checking end with particular string ends with the character. What is the end of the string? If I want to know the
GE.
end of the string alone, I'm giving it as G, which returns either true or false value. Here the condition is true, so it is printing as true. So language GE ends, the string ends with GE, so it is printing it as true. If I want to find the particular character alone, so first, if I want to know the number of characters, number of occurrence, I'm using count. If I want to find the position where the particular character is available, here I've taken O as an input. So O, where the O index is. So as per the input, the indexing starts from 0. So P is 0, 1, 2, 3, fourth index. Fourth index, you can find the O character. So S of O, you'll get the output as 4, right? Again, uh, again you have 2 O right here, but it will find only the first occurrence where the first O is here. If I don't give O here, for example, if I'm changing the input as, so automatically the value changes as 11th position. Sorry, not here. No, the value changes as 8th position. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th position, you have O. So it is printing O. Now I've given find, but I've mentioned O along with indexing. So if I want to find where is the second O is available, I'm finding it as in which position it is available. It is available in the fourth position. First O is available in the fourth position. If I want to find is there any other O available, I'll give it after 5. After the fifth character, it has to find where the O is available. So it is printing in ninth index. It is printing there is another O available. So this is also a find function, use of a find function. If I want to replace, one character by another character, I'm giving the what is the character that here I mentioned O. I want to replace this O with 0. So how it is going to change? So in each O, 0, 0 is being replaced. Can you see in the output? There's no much difference if I change it as I. So instead of 0, instead of O, it is printing as I, right? Instead of Python O, it is printing as I. And here also for programming, instead of O, it is printing as I, right? It is a replace function. These are predefined function that can be used to to fetch the substring from the entire string. That's all. So that when you want to perform some operation, it will be much more easier. These are predefined function. So here I have given a equal to Python 123 and a1 as another input 123, which is of numerical values. This I have given to make you understand these functions, right? Here I am checking is upper. A is Python, which is of uppercase letter, right? So is operator will return you a true or false value, either Boolean values, right? So here the output. Here I've given in double quotes as is upper. The same thing will be printed here. Whatever that has been inside the print statement, I'm giving inside double quotes that will be printed here, right? Is upper. The colon will also be printed. After that, I'm making a comma in order to separate the things. So a dot is upper, so it will change this particular input of the string. So is upper, the condition is true, so it will print the true value of Boolean value. Again, here I'm checking it is lower, so it will print the false value. So since Python has been written in uppercase letter, here the output is false for is lower. Here it is mentioned as is alphabetical. Is alphabetical, here it is false because I have mentioned alphabetical as well as numerical. Alpha numerical, sorry, the condition is true since it is alpha numerical. Here only it is alpha. So it is in both alphabetical and numerical. So it is being printed as true. Here it is checking only it is alpha. Whether it is input is alphabets alone. So it is not alphabet. So it is printing a false statement. Here you are checking A1 is in digit. A1 is in digit. So it is true. Only two more thing is there. Two more functions. One is split and another one is chip. So again, I'm giving the input as S1. S1 is object oriented. I've given the input as is object oriented. What the split does is it will split after each space. It will consider as a new input. See in output, I've given S1 dot split of. I've not mentioned any values at all. I've not mentioned any value. So it is taking as it will print it in list. If the square bracket is being mentioned, it is considered as a list. It is an individual element. Instead of whole string, it is changing as a string is being converted as a list and it is taking first element, second element and third element as the input. So after each space, it has been separated. Here in the same example I've given as, here I've mentioned comma in between each string, right? Is comma, object comma. So after each comma, here I've not mentioned any input. So it is taking space. Here I've mentioned comma in between. So in the output you can see after comma it will be separated. Here oriented I have given some comma here. So it has been taken as 4 elements have been taken, right? Again again I'm taking an input which is having Python as the input, but I'm giving some extra space, right? In order to reduce this extra space, the type function will be used. So what is the string length now? String length is to calculate. Here it will calculate the space also. So the string length is being calculated as 17. Python has only 6 characters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 character. But instead of 6 character, it is printing as 17. So it is taking all these space also a input. So if you want to remove this, you can give type. So it will print only the 6 characters, right?